Without objection, all members will have 5 legislative days within which to submit extraneous materials to the chair for inclusion in the record. I will note at the outset here, and for scheduling purposes for the committee and our panelists, we have a vote series that will be called at 10:30 this morning. That was why I was interested in getting the committee started on time. We're a little late. We will go as long as we can. We'll recess for committee floor votes and return once the series is concluded. I urge members to return as soon as possible. We'll start questioning as soon as we have a sufficient number to do that. I'll now recognize myself for 4 minutes for an opening statement. At our May hearing to conduct oversight of the prudential regulators, members of both sides of the aisle expressed interest in holding a separate hearing on misconduct at the FDIC and the Cleary-Gottlieb report. To my colleagues, I heard you. Today's hearing is focused exclusively on the FDIC's toxic workplace culture and Chair Gruenberg's abusive behavior. To our witnesses, we thank you for being here today. Your commitment to transparency has not gone unnoticed. Just days after our last hearing, Chair Gruenberg announced his intent to resign at some undetermined future date. His resignation should have been welcome news to the FDIC employees who have been subjected to an appalling culture of misconduct and abuse, but it was all a farce. Resigning after the confirmation of a new chair is just more of the status quo. Chair Gruenberg knows this, which is why he told employees at the FDIC to continue as if he would be there until the end of the year. That is outrageous. This, though, is part and parcel of Mr. Gruenberg's failure to accept responsibilities for his own actions. His approach to a long overdue cultural overhaul of the FDIC seems to be deny, deflect, and delay. Case in point, 3 weeks after the White House pledged to move quickly to replace him, we have yet to see a successor even nominated. Deep institutional changes at the FDIC are needed now, not later, which is why I called on President Biden to fire Chair Gruenberg for cause. There's a clear succession plan in place. The agency's operations would continue unabated if he rightfully stepped down today. So what's the delay? The Inspector General, Wall Street Journal, and Cleary-Gottlieb all outlined important misconduct at every level of the agency in painstaking detail. But based on Chair Gruenberg's claims, we're supposed to believe he somehow missed this appalling behavior while leading the agency for 10 of the last 13 years. It's clear any cultural change will happen in spite of his presence, not because of it. The consequences of Chair Gruenberg's failed leadership go further than the 4 walls of the FDIC, though. The events that have unfolded over the last 15 months in our financial system involved him directly or the FDIC under his watch, which include 3 major bank failures last March, including Signature Bank, which was directly under his supervision. In April, Chair Gruenberg's chief risk officer reviewed the FDIC's actions leading up to Signature Bank's failure and concluded staffing, whether it be shortages or communication issues, was a major issue. In November, revelations came to light about the FDIC's toxic culture and Chair Gruenberg's own abusive behavior towards staff, tasked with bringing him, quote, bad news, end quote. It is fair to conclude that Chair Gruenberg's behavior directly impacted the FDIC's response to last year's banking turmoil. He moved slowly, couldn't make decisions, and undoubtedly lashed out at his own employees for presenting him information. So I asked the White House and my Democratic colleagues, does your own agenda really outweigh the need for a competent leader at the helm of the FDIC? With the well-being of the agency, its 6,000 employees, our financial system as well, it's time for Democrats to join Republicans in calling for an immediate change in leadership at the FDIC. With that, I yield back. The chair now recognizes the ranking member of the full committee, the gentlewoman from California, for 4 minutes for the purposes of an opening statement.